Hare Krishna World Razer, Sabina and Roger here. Let's watch Brahma Padartha. Krishna's Heart is an ancient arc reactor. Mystery of Puri Jagannath Temple. I haven't read the title before, obviously. Okay. Okay. Fascinating. An arc reactor. Was it in Marvel?
Yeah, that's like Tony Stark's chest piece is a little mini arc reactor.
Fascinating. Okay. Anyways, Suraj, once again, our world raiser, posted this video for us. Fascinating. Let's dive right into it, I think.
Yeah. Love that video. Love Praveen. Whether it's an arc reactor or a relic or the actual heart of Krishna, if it, conveys a sense of worship and devotion in the people, and just hold that in mind. And if the people, believe that, and whether it's true or not, it's the faith and it's the devotion that is important. And, just the merit of being devoted to that is incredibly powerful and potent, and I absolutely embrace that, and I love that, and I think it's the most amazing thing.
Hey guys, about 5 years ago in 2015, on June 15th at 12 o'clock midnight, something very strange happened in Jagannath Temple at Puri. This event made all historians turn their heads and wonder what is happening in this small town in India. Electricity was shut down not only in the temple area but in the entire town of Puri. Why? Because Krishna's heart was being removed from the main idol of Jagannath Temple and was being placed in another idol. No, I don't mean Krishna's heart in a spiritual or mystical way. I mean it physically. Krishna's actual heart is preserved there. But how can a heart be preserved in original condition for 5,000 years? Because it's a very advanced ancient device. It's not made of flesh and muscle. And people say it can generate power. It starts to vibrate if exposed to light, not just sunlight, any form of light. This is why electricity was shut down in the entire town. The people who touched this heart had to wear thick, heavy gloves, and they also had to wear blindfolds to make sure they do not lay ice on it. Of course, all this sounds strange. But it is true, and we may be looking at evidence of very advanced ancient technology. First, let's look at Krishna's death, which is a mystery by itself. Today, many people do not know about Krishna's death, but ancient sources clearly record his death. Around 3102 BC, roughly 5,000 years ago, Krishna was killed by a hunter in a forest.
What?
This was an accident because the hunter was trying to kill a deer.
You're kidding
Krishna
me.
dies, and his body was cremated. It was ritually burnt. But even though Krishna's body was burnt, his heart did not burn at all. It looked like a lump of solid metal with no damage. When the hunter picked up this heart, it vibrated. It was not made of flesh and blood. It was made of a strange artificial material. And I suspect this is some type of electrical device. Think about this. Modern day pacemakers, artificial heart, they are all basically electrical devices. Remember, Krishna was not human. He was superhuman. He was a god. There is clear evidence of ancient technology during his time. They were using electricity. They were using batteries, which I have already demonstrated in a previous video. They were capable of genetic modification, and Krishna's own brother, Balarama, was a test tube baby. This is clearly recorded in ancient Indian texts. So the hunter tried to burn this heart again, but it was impossible to burn this heart. And it started to emit a strange vibrating sound. So the hunter realized it was some special device. So he took this heart and tried to sell it because it looked very strange. So he traveled across India, but no one would touch it. And finally he gave up and put it on a wooden plank and left it in a river. And it was picked up in the ancient city of Puri. When the king of Puri found out it was Krishna's heart, he decided to make an idol and put his heart inside this idol. This idol is the Jagannath idol in the Puri temple.
That's a
Inside
different
the
story.
idol,
Yeah, a little bit
the
different.
heart of Krishna is still there. This heart is called Brahma Padartha or Divya Padartha, which means divine material. But here's the weird part. Almost all main idols in Hindu temples are made of metal or stone. But this idol is made of wood. You know why? Because it is said that Krishna's heart can electrocute you. It gives electric shocks even today. And this is the reason why the Jagannath idol is not made of metal or stone. Because metals and most stones have high conductivity. But wood is a poor conductor of electricity. The statue itself looks incredibly strange. It's very different than most other statues of Hindu gods. It has these huge eyeballs with very little other features. And it's a massive statue, okay? And Jagannath means the Lord of the universe. Inside the wooden statue, there's a fist-sized chamber in the center, which has the heart. Something else is also strange. The priests have to change the entire idol every 12 years. They have to remove the statue and replace it with a completely new wooden statue. Why? Because the heart slowly damages the wood and weakens the statue. It disintegrates the wood. How does it damage the wood? About 50 years ago, one person is said to have actually seen this heart, and he reported that it was leaking a silvery liquid, which is why the statues get damaged and have to be replaced every 12 years. We can only assume that the device contains mercury or mercury cell or something like that. He claimed that the heart actually began rotating like a chakra when it was exposed to light and vibrated loudly. He said that it was made of an alloy called Ashtadhatu. Ashtadhatu is octoalloy, made of 8 different metals. After this news spread, a new rule was created that everybody should be blindfolded when this heart is being handled, so nobody can disclose its feature to the public. The eyewitness account is so interesting because of its similarity to the arc reactor of Iron Man, right? Both Iron Man and Krishna have these devices on their chests. Both look circular with spinning things. Both seem to be generating power.
My God, it looks exactly
I know
like it.
some of you might think the arc reactor is completely fictional, but MIT is building a compact fusion reactor, and you're looking at the computerized model of the reactor. It would look like the chakra or the arc reactor from the top view, but in the front view, it also looks somewhat like a heart. It has multiple chambers, valve-like tubings. Scientists know that this portable nuclear machine is the future. The question is, was it also the past? The temple authorities officially agree they use gloves to handle the heart. They agree that this device is not a metaphysical or philosophical thing. It's an actual physical thing that must be removed from the old idol and placed inside the chamber of the new idol. They have to turn off the electricity and turn off all the lights and do the transfer in complete darkness to prevent it from getting activated. This means that this device is powered by light. I know we always think of solar energy, but really the technology is not far away where we can tap the power from any light source. We already have this technology in the baby stages, okay? And this is why the entire place must be shut down. Because if there's any light, then there is the risk of this device getting activated. What is it? We don't know. It is definitely some kind of a rotor mechanism, a turbine, a generator, something like that. We know that Lord Krishna was a master of rotor mechanism, okay? He used a weapon called
Krishna?
chakra. And
Yeah,
this
that's
is a
beautiful
very,
image
very
I've ever seen of
advanced
Krishna.
device.
Wow.
There are models preserved in temples which are quite ancient. This preliminary model that you see here is from the 11th century. It is 1,000 years old. See how complex it is. And this is just a basic model of the chakra. And the chakra was also powered by light. And if you go to the Jagannath Temple in Puri, you will find a model chakra on top of the temple tower. Of course, there's absolutely no filming allowed inside the temple, so I cannot show you any footage from this temple. So there's no way to really confirm what the heart looks like, what it is made of. All this information is from locals, from temple authorities, and the internet. But I hope someday the secret of Krishna's heart is revealed and we get to see this ancient device. What do you think? Was Lord Krishna's heart an advanced device implanted inside his body? Or is it a simple object? Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Praveen Mohan. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
It's very sweet.
Okay, let's just stop there because I want to talk about, because we know about relics from...
Yeah, I thought of that too right away.
Yeah, from Buddhism, right? So when some really advanced spiritual beings, some yogis or, advanced meditators or enlightened beings, yeah, they're cremated, and then in the ashes, they find all these relics. So this is what, right away, that's what I thought of. And, some of them, yeah, they have very various densities, right? So this one, being metal could be just part of the process of, the heart, transforming during the cremation process, to be this powerful arc reactor, right? So a source of energy in itself. And this is very cool because I read during the comments, and I don't know if there'll be somewhere else that covers this, but just I think I can bring it up now that the heart is Krishna's heart. They found it, and it somehow ended up in the Jagannath idol, the statue that we just saw that they loaded onto the chariots. Lord Krishna's heart is in there. The relic gets placed in that, and that's why it's such an incredible idol. And part of the reason why they have to change them, every so often is because it has radiation, right? Because it's this powerful energy source, and it deteriorates the idol, from time to time, eventually, and then they got to replace it.
I know why National Geographic didn't cover that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, it's out there. There's no doubt. But it's part of the sacred mystery of Sanatana Dharma. But these tales and these stories, and even whether it's true or not, and I, for one, don't see any reason to not believe it. Of course, maybe it's not an arc reactor, but is it, Krishna's heart, the relic? That's entirely possible. And that it made its way into, into Puri and into the Jagannath statue, and then the whole procession that evolved from that, and then the faith that goes into, every year, this big celebration. Yeah, it's entirely possible and mysterious and incredible. Sabine's having a hard time.
I would love to make this members only, but I think Roger thinks it's yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so he's using arc reactor. That might be a little bit clickbaity. Can it be a relic? Can it be a relic?
Perfect. Yeah,
Can it be a relic that became metallic?
Krishna's-
We've seen relics, and then some of
Krishna's
them,
relic.
some of them are very metallic, right? Because we know that there's metal within the body, right? So the relic could end up as a metallic, energy source. Because we know that they have energy, right? So just being in the field, the level of consciousness of these relics is very powerful.
Yeah. Well, I did have at the beginning a hard time to believe, they have the Buddha's relics. And he lived what, 2,000 years, 500, and Krishna lived how long ago?
Yeah, 5,000 years ago. And so, of course, it's totally possible, especially when this ceremony in Puri has been going on for thousands of years.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the implication is just mind-blowing. Krishna's heart.
Yeah, if it's truly Krishna's heart, that is incredible and amazing. And we are going to have to watch more videos and dig deeper into this, because that's
Yeah, I just think it just
incredible.
got a little ruined for me, like the romanticism of it, because it's like, yeah, it's like a metal. I don't know. It's yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
so is what it is. Like, do we have to put the emphasis on the fact that it's a metal technological device? I think personally that it's more important and it's more amazing and it's more incredible that it's Krishna's heart, not that it's a chunk of metal that gives off energy. That's amazing also, but it's not as amazing as the fact that it's Krishna's heart, a relic of, Supreme Lord Krishna's physical incarnated body from the time when he was on earth in, after Kurukshetra, and the story of how he died from that archer. That's pretty cool too, because it's very reminiscent. Do you want to know, like, where the arrow hit him?
In the heart.
No, it hit
No,
it.
wait. We probably watch videos on
Okay,
it.
so you don't want to know
No, I
just
don't. I
yet?
don't want to know. It's probably once again so simplified that it's literally painful for me.
Yeah.
Krishna, the god of all gods, is being shot to death by a hunter. It's like, oh.
Yeah, but the thing is that, Sabina, you're forgetting how the Buddha
know.
died, right? The Buddha knew that the food that he was about to eat was poisonous, but he knew that it was his time to go, and then it was his choice. Of course, Krishna knew that, oh, there's an archer and I'm about to
Yeah,
get
of
shot,
course
but
I
it's
know.
time to go, and you need a
The
way
Buddha
to go.
got poisoned? I forgot.
Yeah,
He got
the Buddha, they did their alms round, and then the offering of the day, what he was offered was, it was not, it was, I don't know, it was not, what's the right word?
Yeah, well, it was.
It was rotten food. It was bad food. It was not appropriate for consumption. The Buddha was very old at that time, and so it was poison. It was
does ring a bell now.
It was
that you
like there might have been
mention it. Okay.
salmonella or,
Okay.
whatever poison when food goes bad. Yeah, but the Buddha ate it anyways, and then proceeded into paranirvana, right? So that being said, it's not like Krishna was out and about and then he accidentally just got shot. Of course, he was going to be aware of what was happening, because Krishna was also the archer and he was also the arrow.
Yeah. I know, of course.
Yeah. So anyways,
Well, I'm responsible here from the two of us to really like react to what they are telling us. I mean,
Yeah,
so,
totally. It's
and that's what they're telling us with no other information. That sounds,
Yeah, and
like,
then be a little bit skeptical. So, do you guys out there, what do you guys think? Is it an arc reactor? And is that the more incredible thing? But the thing is that with the youth and this younger generation and superheroes and Marvel and all of this stuff, that seems really cool. Like Krishna's heart was an arc reactor, and there's aliens and spaceships, and he was a god, and he had ancient technologies, and his heart was made out of metal, and that sounds really cool and fascinating, but it's not as fascinating as the Supreme Lord, Krishna. So Vishnu incarnates, as the preserver, maintainer, as an avatar of the universe. And then the relic of his heart, when he gets cremated, that probably happened, and then a relic remained. That's what's important. That's incredible. But one more thing, but let's not get carried away and think that, okay, well, Krishna, he probably looked like Iron Man when he's not in his suit, and he walked around with this glowing light, you know, this piece of technology coming out of him. I don't think so. I think he had an actual human heart at that time. Of course, an evolved divine human heart, but still a heart that would have been pumping blood, not a mechanical device. Love that video. Love Praveen. Yeah, love his breakdowns and his analysis. And I'm going to let him know what I think of that because he asked, right? I think that's cool and it's a great hypothesis. And if it is a mechanical device, I'm skeptical because I don't think that God in human form would need any mechanical devices. He would have a perfect physical body. But I am open to the idea that it is his heart. And then when he was cremated, he, by causes and conditions, allowed his body to form into, and it's probably not just his heart, it's probably like all the metal, iron in his body, came into the heart at the moment of cremation to leave a very powerful relic, which I think is entirely possible, and that it made its way to Odisha and Puri, and then the king found it. So the one story from the documentary said that it was just a log, and then the story went that they carved it into the three idols, but it was just a log. It didn't mention anything about a heart or a relic of Krishna in that tale. But this tale is saying it a bit different, where it was the heart that made its way down the river, and then the wood came later, and then the idols were created, or the one idol, Jagannath, and maybe the other ones came after, the sister and brother, but the idol was made to, for this heart to be inserted in. And that being said, we always think of like energy as something, emitting light and electricity. And I'm not saying that that's not the case, but it could be possible that the energy that we're talking about is just a field, like a field of consciousness, of very spiritual energy that, gives the indication and presence of electricity. And it probably could affect, electrical currents and stuff. But I think the more powerful energy, because even electricity, just like anything in a material existence, is a product of consciousness, the infinite field of consciousness, and everything within it is, a manifestation of that energy, and it's the very source of all energy, right? So that's, by far the more powerful of the energy. You got electricity, or you have the source of electricity, which is consciousness. So the relic could contain, some very powerful energy, no doubt, right? And I think it's incredibly important that if it's true, and if it's the cremated body of Krishna and then the relic of his heart, and if that made it into the temple, that in itself is incredibly mind-blowing and impressive and sacred, we don't need to debate and think that it's an ancient mechanical device, because honestly, that's secondary, right? It's Krishna's heart. That's what's impressive. So, anyways, what's your thoughts?
Yes, he asked. My thoughts are, I don't know.
Hmm.
I stick with that. I just don't know. I know that I don't know, and I'm more curious on my reaction and why I'm reacting the way I'm reacting. Why, because I'm obviously triggered, but why would I be triggered by a story, like by, a video, by someone's presentation of something?
Yeah, fascinating. Could it be is because he's diving into, the technology that might have been around in the past?
No, I have no problem with that.
Are you thinking that why would Krishna need a mechanical device in his chest?
No, well, I don't know, but I wouldn't think, like, for me personally, I would think like you. It's like a relic, and then it turned into this device. Yeah, I don't know, but it did something with me. Something got triggered. I don't know what. I can't find it when I look within. So yeah, fascinating. But I'm not gonna form an opinion here because I don't know. It could be true, could not be true. What do I take away from this? That I don't know shit. It's like,
Yeah.
and it just,
we don't know.
wow, yeah. That's. I'm gonna stay humble here. I try and just, I just don't know.
But that being said, whether it's an arc reactor or a relic or the actual heart of Krishna, whatever is in that statue, if it, conveys a sense of worship and devotion in the people, and, to think that that's Lord Jagannath, and it's not just a separate, incarnation or form of Krishna, it actually has Krishna's heart. And then to just hold that in mind. And if the people, believe that, and whether it's true or not, it's the faith and it's the devotion that is important. And then the fact that this huge ceremony came about, because of that, and the events leading up to that, and they build these chariots every year, and then they take them on, vacation, and then they bring them back, and they treat these idols as like real divine personages, and then feeding them every day. And
Beautiful.
Just the merit of being devoted to that is incredibly powerful and potent, and I absolutely embrace that, and I love that, and I think it's the most amazing thing. So wonderful. So thank you so much, Praveen, for this breakdown and this perspective special. And bringing, to light, some of these controversial things, and getting people talking. I think it's amazing. So so thank you all so much for joining us. If you like this video, please let us know by hitting the like button and subscribing, and letting us know down in the comments, what do you think about it? Arc Reactor, Relic, Krishna's Heart, let us know. But the most important thing is to raise yourself
and raise the world. Thank you so much, everyone, and a very special thank you to Suraj. Fascinating video. We love you.
Oh yeah. Peace.